Welcome to another episode of Dad's Rules with Kevin Belzer. Today I'm joined by Melissa Belzer on episode number 256.
Hi. 256. Woo!
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
It took very many years to get this far.
That's okay.
Very many years.
That's okay.
Started over 4 years ago.
Has it been that long? I didn't even do the math. Okay, that's cool.
2022.
Yeah? Okay.
Yep. So in the last episode, I was going camping.
Mm-hmm.
I survived camping because I'm home.
Thank goodness.
And that was the question. Well, for me anyway. So
Okay.
I learned a lot of things on camping.
Okay.
First and foremost is I screwed up right before I left. The night before, you should take the coolers into the house to get them to a temperature that is not 100 and some degrees of what your garage is.
100%.
I did not make it very many hours down the road before all I heard was sloshing water in the coolers because the coolers were so freaking hot.
And I didn't think about it. And if I'd known the food coolers would have been in the car, I would have been like, you need to bring them in. I just had no idea that they would be in the car. So
yeah,
so hot.
I hit the ice budget much sooner than I expected.
Okay.
Let's see. So that was the biggest first lesson. I did know that I would forget things. And
what was the thing you forgot?
The major thing that I forgot? A chair.
A chair. A chair. We even went to the store for a chair. I was like, no way, really?
No, you pointed out a chair at the store, and I was like, I got perfectly good chairs in the garage.
Yeah.
Did not bring one.
But?
Well, no, there's several things. So the photos I saw online showed campsites that had chairs. Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't upgrade to that level of campsite. I was not the lowest level campsite because I wasn't in the flood zone with no power, no electricity, or no water, no electricity. I was up a level to where I did have water, electricity, the wood chips that you can put the tent on, parking right next to the camp.
Your area.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't know that not every site would not have a Adirondack chair. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mine didn't. It had a picnic table. Picnic tables are meant for pretty much just eating, and then you're like, I'm not comfortable anymore, and I'd like to go somewhere else.
100%.
Yeah.
So bummer.
So the drive to Missouri took about, let's see, right at 24 hours.
It was so long.
Yeah, but that's because around hour 21, I finally had to take a nap. Now, I know that I've said before I could go 22 straight hours without stopping. Oh, I can, though. However, what I didn't account for is that by the time I'd left, I'd already been up like 7 or 8 hours.
Yeah.
So when I've done it in the past, I've literally woken up and within an hour we're on the road.
Yes.
This is not how it went down this time.
Some major disconnects this time, but that's okay.
It did rain probably 75% of the drive there. And then it finally stopped right before I got to the campsite, which was in Eureka, Missouri. It was a KOA.
It looked really cool.
It was nice. And I'll get into that in a minute. But it rained almost all the way. And then like the last few hours before I got to the campsite, it had stopped raining. So I drove in rain for over 20 hours.
That's so many hours.
It was a lot. And I did not replace my windshield wipers before I left either.
Oh, no.
So there's that as well.
Those are the worst. Okay. Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah.
I just thought they'd been done. Okay. No, that's not true.
No, I was not able to replace them because...
that's right. Xander was going to do it and something was wrong. Gave us the wrong ones or something.
The shop gave me the ones that weren't compatible with my vehicle.
Right. Okay.
So I get to the campsite, check in, get my site. This is when I get to finally break the seal on the tent. The box that the tent came in. Like legit. I had not opened it at all. I had to get the knife, cut the box open, all that.
Like a present.
I open it up, and the funniest thing is when right inside the bag, it immediately tells you to set the tent up at least one time before you go camping. Uh, yeah, so
No.
that obviously didn't happen.
Okay. All right.
Yep, and yeah, so good times there. But anyway, when I'm starting to get everything out of the vehicle, the roving security guy came around and he goes, "Hey, the forecast says that it's going to downpour in a few hours."
And I'd also just texted him that.
And
I was like, no, hurry.
but I was plenty of ways up from the creek that was on the property. Like it's going to have to be massive
Sure.
rain and stuff.
Sure.
So I'm like, okay, let's just get this all set up. It has the rain guard on the tent. So you set the tent up, and then it has this like another cover that you put over the top of it that's water resistant. And I'm like, I guess I'm going to find out. So I get everything set up. I have a cooler that I put inside the tent, my luggage, the cot that I bought. I bought a cot. Now I should rewind. The tent I bought it in an outlet store for $29. So I was putting a lot of faith in a $29 tent. Now, the backup plan, if this did fail, I could go sleep in my vehicle. So
Yes.
There was an option B.
It was a B plan.
But that would have been absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
And then I bought a cot. The cot was actually more expensive than the tent was because I was trying to buy one off of Facebook Marketplace. Because the funny thing about Facebook Marketplace for anything camping wise is that almost every item you find for sale in there says used once.
Same thing with like rollerblades and stuff. You just know. You're like, people get them because they get excited. And then we're like, oh no, after they've done it one time. So yeah, we were actively checking.
So I messaged a couple people. One of them still never messaged me back. And this was, 2 weeks ago.
That's crazy.
But I messaged a couple of people and they weren't getting back to me. And I'm finally at drop dead hour where I've got to get a tent or the cot before I leave. Cause I'm like, I just had a feeling since you were saying the tent up on wood chips that your sleeping bag or even a yoga mat or whatever was not going to be enough cushion against, the wood chips. So when I bought the cot, we weren't even 15 minutes down the road when finally I get a message from the person that lived like right down the street from me, or like within the same community as me.
It's crazy.
That, hey, saw your message. Yes, you can pick up the tent later. And it's like, or the cot later. And it's like, well, now it's too late because I already got one. The cot was actually really cool. It comes in a very compact bag. It's like this big around for you YouTube viewers. And about
about a little more than 2 feet,
right over 2 feet wide. And when you take it out of the bag and you stretch it out, pop the legs down to secure it, then you zip up the side of it, and that's what makes it sturdy.
That's cool. I can't wait to play with it.
Yeah, and so it actually works very well.
I want to see it.
So night, I did get everything set up in time. I did even have time to cook that night as well.
That's so good. I was just like, come on, God, please just let me get the stuff set up.
So I did get time to try out the brand new cast iron Dutch oven that I bought. And I brought survival food because I was like thinking that, okay, if I'm going to have this 30-year shelf life food, shouldn't I see if I actually like any of this stuff? Because it's supposed to be made for a bug out situation. Yeah. Could the world absolutely collapse? Absolutely, it could collapse.
Yeah.
However, the real purpose of survival food is if there's fire that goes through, like the Palisade event, what was that, a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
Or it's flash flooding, some kind of natural disaster comes through, knocks power out, whatever. You just want to know you have food to make it for X amount of days.
Yeah.
So I brought a variety of different foods to see, do I like these or not like these? And then the other thing I did is before I left, I bought a rotisserie chicken from Costco, ripped it all off the rotisserie, off the bone, and put it in a freezer bag and threw that in the cooler as well. So I had meat to throw in with this throughout the whole trip as well. And that ended up being a brilliant idea. So that I'll give myself an A+ for that idea.
That was an A+. Plus, we have a really good cooler.
The Dutch oven, I should have brought extra oil with me so I could make sure that it stayed seasoned properly, because I was having to redneck style it when I was cleaning it and rub butter on it to, so it had some kind of oil on it and wasn't like, because the humidity there was so bad, it was getting that that rust look on it. So I had to make sure that it was kept sealed, whatever they do with them.
We'll re-season it.
Seasoned, yes. That's the word.
Yeah.
So anyway, got dinner, all that. And then since I've been on the road for so many hours and the amount of sleep I'd gotten on the drive was a rest stop of about 30 to 45 minutes of me just basically passing out in the parking lot and then hopping back on the road and making it the rest of the way. I slept through this nasty storm. And because when I woke up at some point in the night, having to go to the bathroom, I'm looking up and I see lightning flashing and the rain's just pouring down outside. And I did have a poncho, so I could, put that on to go to the restroom.
And you were right across from the restroom, thank goodness.
About 100, 150 feet.
Oh, it looks a lot closer than that.
It's probably about 100, 150 feet away. But
okay.
Put a poncho on, you're fine.
Yeah.
But that first night, I slept 9 straight hours in it. And then the thing that we don't really have a lot of in Arizona is humidity. And this place had a ton of humidity, like a lot. And plus it's raining on top of that.
That's so much.
So the first night, 0 issues sleeping.
Because you were exhausted.
Because I was just flat out exhausted. I'm like, I really can't judge if I'm really, truly comfortable or not. Because I had a sleeping bag down. I had my pillow from home. So I had the correct pillow. And then I had a blanket that I put on top of me. I basically was using the sleeping bag as a base on top of the cot. But I was definitely happy that I had the cot, because if I got off the cot and I was on my knees inside the tent, I could feel the roughness of the wood chips below me. So
when you're kneeling, okay,
yep.
Yeah, that's the way I imagined it. I'm surprised there are no holes.
The event I was going to was on Saturday. I arrived at the tent or at the campgrounds on a Thursday afternoon for check-in. So I was way early for it, but I intentionally did that because I knew I was going to need a sleeping day or sleep-in day, which, since I crashed pretty hard that night, and when I got up the next morning, it was still morning, like 8 a.m. or something when I woke up. 8 a.m. there, which is 6 a.m. here.
Right.
And then I had workout equipment with me, so I was able to work out. And then I just walked the campground to get my walking in. Then I read. I wrote a ton. I completed a book while I was out there, book number 6 in the Vera Nightingale series. So got that all done. But the first 3 days, it rained.
That's so much rain.
It was like off and on. So there was like times where I was cooking in the rain as well. And I haven't camped in over 40 years.
I haven't camped in ever. We may have stayed overnight in the cabin one time when I went out with my aunt and uncle in the lakes, but I don't remember if we stayed the night. I have very limited memory of that time. I have no idea.
I will say by the end of the day, this shower was the most joyous experience possible.
I bet.
Yeah. So so Thursday got in, didn't leave the campsite. Friday, didn't leave the campsite. Saturday, I had to go because I was going to Andy Frisella Operator Standard event. So I had to go to that. And that was a ton of fun. Did that day. And then honestly, all I did is I zipped up my tent. I had no valuables in there because my computer and all that was with me. I'm like, look, if somebody really wants to steal my cot and sleeping bag, then so be it. I guess I'll figure it out from there. But I'm like, I don't know. They have roaming people all the time, and just where
Security.
it was safe and all that.
That's cool.
So I wasn't too stressed out about it. And then let's see, Sunday was another chillax day. And that day it did not rain at all. And it was just freaking hot.
And humid.
Hot
It's like a
and
sauna.
humid. So that day, what I did is I went to Meramec Caverns, and I did take video of that.
That was pretty cool.
And Meramec Caverns was pretty cool. The probably the most interesting part of that was it's another wet cavern. I never thought I'd be into spelunking, but I don't know.
It's kind of cool.
I enjoy it, and plus on a hot, humid day, it's perfect
nice.
because caves are cooler.
Yeah.
So it was only 60 degrees in there,
which is warmer than our lava tube.
Yeah, and it was like 30 minutes south of the campsite. I'd passed it on the way in.
That's cool.
30, 35 minutes, something like that. And I'm like, whatever, that's fine. I've just driven 20 some hours. 35 minutes is nothing.
Exactly.
And like the event I went to on Saturday was only, well, that was in a torrential rainstorm. So that did take me about 30 minutes to get to. I mean, like it was bad. Like wipers on full and you're going like way under the speed limit, kind of bad. On Sunday, bright skies, hot. It was like 95 with 60 some percent humidity. And so I went to the caverns and did the tour there. It's privately owned. It's not a state or a federal one. It's privately owned.
I forgot you said that.
Probably the most interesting fact on that one was that at one time Jesse James had holed up in there after a train robbery.
Oh, wow.
And they thought that they could just wait him out at the entrance, because he would run out of food, water, whatever.
Yeah.
But these people never been deep into the caves. What they didn't know is that some years before, during the Civil War, he actually had been in them at that time and explored them at that time, remembered them. So they end up finding later on when they did go in, because he's nowhere to be found. They do go in. They find the strongbox is broken open. The money's gone. Okay. Well, what ended up happening is that Jesse James had gone deeper into the caverns, and then he'd taken one of the underground rivers that was there, or streams.
Oh, wow.
It was there. He'd taken that and he followed it out, and it dumped him a quarter mile down from where the cave entrance was, and he just walked away scot-free.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so they were able to find strongbox. They found a gun down there, and they found a tool that he'd used to open up the strongbox, and it's all still sitting in there. It was all marked with from the identifiers that said it was from the train and all that, so they do know it was his and whatnot. There are well over 20 miles of cavern caves down there, but you don't go all of that. You go probably a little over a mile of it is what you can actually explore. It is a wet cavern as well, so there's flowing water down there.
So did they say, since you said he could follow the river and escape out, do they have that? Did they say if they have
They
that
know
sealed
exactly
off?
which one it was, because they showed us.
But they must have it sealed off, so people can't come in.
I don't know.
That would have been a question. I'm like, hey.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Not sure.
Yeah.
But that was pretty cool, and it killed a few hours at the cafe there. Had some fudge. I don't know what the thing is. Like, you go on vacation, and that's when it's okay to have fudge.
It's so good, though.
Yeah, you're like, I'm on vacation.
We've never been disappointed at vacation fudge, no matter where we've
gotten it. It's
always
homemade. And it was funny because, like, in their case of fudge, they go, well, this section here, we just made this today. You can't eat this here. We would start serving this batch tomorrow. So if you come back tomorrow, these are the ones that you'd see that would be able to be eaten tomorrow.
So what'd you have, OG?
I had chocolate. Yeah. I had normal, because she was like, oh, just chocolate? And I'm like,
because everybody always wants the flavor.
Yeah, because that's the best one.
It's the OG.
Yeah.
If that's good, then the rest of it's good.
Yeah. So then after that, I went back to the campsite, and the next day I worked out, did my walk and all that, and then I headed to Iowa. So I spent 5 days at the campsite. Okay, things I forgot. Forgot a chair, because we knew I was going to forget stuff. Forgot a chair.
I didn't think it was going to be the chair, though.
Me neither. And I refused to buy another chair because I have plenty of chairs in my garage.
But you could have bought the beach chair, because we don't have one like that, and I want one like that for outside, for like music in May and stuff. It was going to get used. Anyway.
And then I forgot towels. So
not a big deal.
And then I knew I didn't have charcoal, but I had planned on stopping at a Walmart Walmart because I knew I was gonna likely need more ice, and which was weird because the Walmart I was at didn't sell ice, so I had to get water.
No, come on.
There was no ice.
Was it a neighborhood?
Nope, it was a regular Walmart.
No, they had ice.
I looked everywhere.
I would have asked.
There was no way they don't have freaking ice.
Every Walmart has ice.
You can say that, but this one did not. So
they were hiding it.
So since I had to buy charcoal there anyway, I was like, whatever, I'll buy a couple towels.
Yeah.
But I refused to buy a chair because we have a bunch of them in the garage, even though some of them are probably ratty and need to be thrown away.
It's close.
Yeah.
It's
okay. Let's see what else. Oh, I also brought my bug out kit. So like when you have to like leave someplace very quickly with your survival food, your bug out kit. So I got to test this stuff in my bug out kit and find out that some of it is complete and utter crap.
Oh no.
Yep. But I found out.
Okay.
And then I found out what works well and does not work well in a campsite. Like the special lighter that I had. Yeah, the special lighter that I had would work well on paper, but the fire starter for the fire was plastic and it wanted to melt inside where the little connector, where the little Zapier rays are in it, because it goes like this.
Like the wiring, the coils?
Yeah, it would want to stick to the little things in there. Okay. And I was like,
the lighter.
And yeah, inside
the coils of the lighter. Yeah, okay.
I was like, okay. So I went up to the KOA office and I bought one of those stick lighters. And I also found out that though the fire starters work, what works better is because these were like little thin plastic things with a chemical in them. But I ended up having to use like 3 or 4 per fire to get the fire going. I went up to the KOA office and they had these little cup things. They're like this, probably about this tall, like 2 inches tall, and packed with whatever the crap is that's in them. Those were perfect for lighting a fire.
No, and I was gonna make you some, and I just didn't, because you can make them with toilet paper tubes and shredded paper from your shredder. You just shove it inside.
The issue is you have to have this thing last long enough to where it's truly burning the wood.
It will. You pack it with paper.
It needs whatever the chemical is in it as well. So that stuff was great. Let's see what else. Nothing dries in 62% humidity.
Nope, we know that though. From Carolina.
That was crazy.
It's always wet.
Yeah. That was pretty crazy. Let's see. Your car really stinks after you go camping. It smells like mildew or something.
It doesn't smell like mildew at all. It just smells like stink.
Yeah, I can't.
Just stink.
I can't quite track it down.
It's not dirt. It's not BO.
But the weird thing is it
stink.
Okay, so I brought all the clothes that I wore at the campsite. I brought them all to my dad's house in Iowa because that's where I was going next after I was done in Missouri. I brought them all to my dad's house and washed and dried them all. And then before I left my dad's, the clothes I used the next 3 days, I washed and dried those the morning I left. So I had literally no dirty clothes. The clothes I was wearing was the only thing that was going to be dirty. So I was well planned for that. And so I don't know. I was policing my garbage out of my vehicle and everything. It's like even like at the campsite, I was not too far from the dumpsters.
Right.
So
that's cool.
I would just walk the trash down there. I wasn't storing it in my vehicle. So I'm like, I don't know. But anyway, it's pretty gross. And then after that, after the camping, I went to my dad's house. So I was gone like 9 days total. But yeah, let's see, the things I definitely forgot would be chair, charcoal, which that I knew before I left that I was going to have to stop and get that. And then towels. Those are the 3 things that I definitely forgot.
So bad.
And I probably, after cooking and everything, would have had different utensils than the ones I brought. I
think you did okay.
Yeah, I do think I did okay. It wasn't like I felt it was either going to be a complete and utter failure or a complete and utter success. I think it was close to success. I mean,
It's
especially
closer to success.
yeah, because I hadn't done it in so many years, and I was spitballing what I thought I'd need. But it was funny once you're there, you're like, oh, I would had this different, that different. The tent I got, the $29 tent, did its job very well. However, it height wise, you couldn't stand up straight, tall in it.
Right.
For $29, I don't know what I should expect.
Where a beach chair would come in handy.
Yeah, for sitting in there. Because
Yes.
it's like I was forced to lay on the cot when it was raining and stuff. And after a while,
not
it's just
great.
not comfortable.
Yeah.
Because I only have my one tiny pillow with
Yeah.
me.
Mm.
So it's like, that's not that awesome.
Mm. I could see that.
Yeah. So a few things I definitely would have done different. Oh, and also a four-person tent. No, there's no way 4 freaking people can fit in there.
Are you lining them up? Wall to
No,
wall?
even if you line them up, I'm like, I don't know how that would work because none of your stuff would be in there.
No,
not
your
even
stuff
a
would
bag
be in the vehicle. No, it would just be caught sleeping.
Yeah,
Maybe.
so I'm like thinking that a 10 or 12-person tent is probably like a 3-person tent.
That's what I would think. I would think the bigger tents would be better.
Yeah.
Because the other one was only 49 or something.
That was a 6-person.
Yeah, I would have totally gotten that one.
Well,
It's fine.
I thought this would be okay. And I mean, it did its job.
It's fine.
and all
It
that.
worked.
And the crazy thing is that like in 9 days, I did not watch TV.
Right.
For 9 days. It's like when I was at my dad's house, one of the last nights I was there, my brother turned on a movie and I was literally writing the last chapter of the book. And it was beyond distracting. So I had to go down to the basement where I was sleeping and finish it down there because I couldn't have Slapshot in the background while I'm trying to do that.
Yeah.
And FYI, if you ever saw Slapshot, like I did back in the day where it was on regular TV, yeah, if you see the regular version of it,
You're getting the PG-ish version of it.
yeah, way different version on the other version.
Like,
I was like, I do not
whoa.
remember this movie being this filthy. Well, it is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That might be the case with some of the movies too that I've seen them now. I'm like, I don't remember that being in there. Maybe I hadn't thought about that. Maybe that's why. Because I'd seen the TV version, the filtered version.
Very, very possible. The first time I saw Fast Times at Ridgemont High was on regular TV.
Horrible.
It's a great movie. First time I saw it was on regular TV, and then I saw it again on
Cable.
VHS. No,
Oh, VHS.
I own the VHS to
Okay.
it, and I'm like, wow, this is
Way different.
Yeah, it was so raunchy. My stepdad got up and walked out of the room because we'd both seen it before on regular TV. There was a lot of
So
things
much
cut in that
left
movie.
out.
Yeah, so that was my camping adventure. I was gone.
Okay.
I'm going to attach some videos to this, so we're going to end the episode here. But I'm going to attach some of my adventures while I was down there to this as well, so you can see that. And I guess that'll be a wrap on this. So if you like the show, like, share, comment, review, leave feedback, subscribe, all that fun
Thanks.
stuff. Yeah, if you're listening to us, we are on YouTube as well. So the next segments where it's all just showing videos would make zero sense to you. So you should probably switch over to YouTube
Go to
just to
YouTube.
watch this. Until next time, go out and be the kick-ass adult I know you all can be. Okay, so here's the campsite. Get my finger out of the picture. So got picnic bench, hook up for electrical, water at it. There's where I'll cook. Tent will go over here. And then this is the funniest part of it all. In this box is a brand new tent, a cot, Dutch oven, brought my pillow from home because I'm foo-foo like that, coolers of food, luggage, mat for the cot. It's almost like I haven't done this in 40 years. So this will either be epic or absolute train wreck. We will see. But the lot and everything's really cool. Showers and bathrooms right across from it. was glad to see I had parking here, because I guess not all of them come with parking. But yeah, I'll set it up and I'll show you a picture. All right, this is the tent setup. You see how pretty it looks. But then you look to the skies, nothing but gray. We were supposed to get dumped on, so we will see. Also, that's the tent I bought for $29. So we're going to see if the waterproof that it says that it is, because it's got an extra cover that goes over top, if it truly is or not. Yeah, so it could be either really good times and a total success, or this is going to be a colossal train wreck. So wait and see. The campground is right next to a cemetery. So I don't know, it's going to turn into a horror movie, or you'll be okay. I guess wait and see. See mine in the news, you know what happened. Okay, these are cool. This is a little cabins that you can rent. That's pretty neat. Have to keep that in mind. And you get all the RV lots. As you can see, it's starting to rain. It's supposed to rain for an hour. We'll see. I gotta get my walk in, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Just keep walking. Okay, never seen something like this before, but it's a jumping pillow. Everything is closed at the moment because of the rain, but it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a giant pillow you jump on. It's huge. Of course, they have to have stupid rules. Let's see. Well, I don't have to be supervised, so I guess there's that. Cool. I say that's Cannonball approved. That's a nice big pool. There's also a choo-choo train over there. I think you can rent that out and stay in it. As you see, this place is absolutely huge. You can also get bikes. There's a cabin up there that has like food and snacks and stuff. Pretty cool setup here at KOA, just outside of Six Flags. Okay, these are cool. These are the deluxe cabins you can do. So they're, I'd say, a little bit bigger than a tiny home. They definitely have an upstairs. You get the back patio as well. Pretty cool setup. And then down here, you have tent sites with no electricity. And then where I am on the other side, you can have electricity and water on those. And like your restroom areas are over there. There's also showers and stuff like that. There's a laundry facility here. It's quite a bit. And then over the edge over there is a creek running through. So pretty cool place. Okay, like I was saying, there's a creek that's down here, and it's like legit, it's a creek. So I bet during the rainy season it gets pretty full, but right now it's kind of lazy and all that's really cool. You can just hang out down here. A really neat setup. Let there be fire. All right, fire is going. I've got a Dutch oven on here. That is going to be a Liberty Bell potato cheddar soup with freeze-dried broccoli in it. They're both from my Patriot Supply. And then the chicken I added into it. I got a chicken from Costco and chopped that up, threw it in the cooler before I left. And it's almost done. So to take it off the flame here in a minute. And that's gonna be dinner. Okay, it rained for 12 straight hours. Now it's just drizzling, so it's walkable weather. So let's see how the tent did. This is the very first time I've used my $29 tent. Got your little overhang here. Sagged a little bit from the rain, but it's still standing. Little puddle there on the outside. Then you go inside, it's completely dry. So it did a bang up job. Pretty impressed with myself. All right, it's hot as balls out. We finally got a day where it's not raining at the moment. It's supposed to be raining later, so I'll secure the tent. But I need to escape the heat for a few hours. It's 92 with like 100% humidity. So we're gonna go cave exploring.
When they discovered this place in 1941, they were absolutely astounded that on top of this rock, they found a whole bunch of human artifacts, including a gun barrel, a lantern, there were many rusted tools, and most important to this whole story, they found this very same old empty loot box. Now when they found this box in 1941, then they could still see it was labeled Denver Mining Company. And to this day, this box still has a legible stamped serial number. So they found out very quickly that this box was the same one recorded as stolen during a rash of train robberies in this area dating back to the 1870s. And all believed to be perpetrated by, you guessed it, Jesse James and his brother Frank James. Now, when this robbery happened, the local sheriff and his men were just very frustrated by the frequency of these train robberies. They leapt into action. They actually were pretty close behind these guys, and they followed them all the way back here to this cave. But the sheriff did not go into the cave and make his arrest as soon as he arrived. I can only imagine he was trying to avoid a chaotic shootout with two very dangerous outlaws in total cave darkness. So instead, the sheriff stationed himself and his men outside of the entrance to the cave with the idea that he would be able to starve these guys out. That if he waited long enough, they would get hungry enough, they would come out willingly and give up. But as the story goes, nobody came walking out of this cave, and nobody was arrested for this robbery. And that's because, while the sheriff's plan seems logical, he just did not know this cave. He did not know that this place existed, and he definitely did not count on there being another way in and out of here. But indeed there was. From that spring, all through this cave, and it empties outside into the Meramec River. So perhaps some of you see where this is going. Jesse and his brother, having made it here, they pried open the box on top of that rock. They left behind all the tools they no longer needed. They quickly put all the money in sacks, slung the sacks over their shoulder, and they jumped in that river. And they wisely followed the direction that the water flowed, and that ended up depositing Jesse, Frank, and the $12,000 that they got out of this box, all outside, right next to the Meramec River, a quarter mile from where the sheriff and his men were waiting at the big cave entrance that we all walked in today. So folks, that is the I don't think there's any drip in here, but we're going to a place where there's lots of drip in. That's cool.
This is the wine room.
Its name for the many similarities to the modern-day theater. If you use your imagination, you may be able to see the large curtain in front of you, extending 70 feet up into the room above, and expanding over 55 feet wide. Back to the right, you can see an opening that resembles a dressing room. To the left-hand side, you may envision the curtain parting, connecting us to the backstage. Down in front, we even have a sunken orchestra pit. And if you look above, we have overhead balcony seating. Our theater is equipped with 2 stalactite chandeliers. And every good theater has a concession stand, and we happen to have the world's largest root beer float with cinnamon stick. Our theater has been an amazing tourist for almost 100 years. One of the most notable guests came in 1946. That's when the governor of Missouri came to our cave for a special dedication following World War II. The governor wanted to honor all the veterans who had served our country in that war. He gave us 2 special gifts. The first was a unique light that projected the American flag onto the wall. The second gift, he brought an internationally known singer named Kate Smith, who stood there in the curtains parting and sang, "God Bless America." This started our long-running tradition that we've been doing for decades.